Hello friends, my name is Habib. Today we are going to learn how to make jumping game in Scratch. So yeah, you see that I've already created the sprites. First is the Scratch Cat, and then there's this tiny red Scratch Cat. So anyways, then there's this tiny red Scratch Cat, which looks very evil. So basically, we want to make a game where we have to dodge this tiny red Scratch Cat. It will be coming to us, and then we have to try to dodge it. But we won't be able to move. We'll just be able to jump in one place. Very basic, really. So you see here for the Scratch Cat, we made this rectangular box over it, with the center over the head of the Scratch Cat. Now, you see, I want to make the Scratch Cat to squash and stretch. You know, like squash and stretch. So recently, Griff Patch made a video on how to make, squash and stretch in Scratch, which was previously impossible. Well, it wasn't really previously impossible, but it's just that nobody knew how to do it. So Griff Patch made a video on how to make squash and stretch in Scratch. So I am using his method. So basically, you have to create a rectangular box, and then have to put the origin of the box over the Scratch Cat's head. This is really important. And now you have to change the fisheye effect. Now you see that it's going to squash. Now, if you want a more in-depth look about this, go to Griff Patch's channel. So yeah, I can remove the outline from the box, since the outline is not the important part. I can remove the outline since it's not the important part. So now, first I'm going to make the jumping function. When I clicked forever, if then, key space press. Move up. No, wait. What is this? Move up. Output 10 repeat blocks. Oh, I hate this. Move up by 14 steps. Now I could copy this, but my right key is not working for some reason. I meant my left key, or is it my right? The key I used to copy paste is not working for some reason, so yeah, I can't just copy paste. It's very annoying. -2, -14. Now we've implemented jumping. Hooray! Now these two, they're not really necessary. I just added it to make the jumping feel more smoother. You can see the difference. Now this is a very bad way of implementing jumping. It's very simple. These can only be used for very simple games with no complex system. But if you have if you're making a platformer game with many complex systems like collision detection, this is a terrible method. This is a terrible method for making jumping. Yeah, this can only be used if you're making a very simple game like I am. So now that we've established that, wait, no. Oh, that's also what the video is about. The evil Scratch Cat that we have to dodge does not really do anything. It kind of just sits there. So anyways, so I'm going to do when flag clicked forever, wait 1 second, and then create a clone of myself. Now it's going to create a clone of itself every second. clones are gone. Now, what we want to do is that we want it to hide. We do not want to see the original sprite, since we're not going to be doing any. Now, this original sprite, its only purpose is producing clones of itself. Now, the thing is, we can code. If we want to make the clones do stuff, we have to code them separately from the original sprite. So the original sprite doesn't really do anything. So I will do. So when it starts as a clone, repeat until key space pressed. No, repeat until touching edge. So the code in here is going to run until it touches the edge. It's going to move -10 steps, and then when it's finished, and then when it touches the edge, this code is going to stop, and the code afterwards is going to run. It's going to be delete this clone, which is now it only affects the clones. The original sprite is purely for producing clones, so it's useless. And besides, why do we want the original sprite doing? So we can hide it. But then the clones are hidden as well, so we have to show the clones separately. Now the problem is, this isn't really much of a, this isn't really much of a, jumping game. Since, there's not really anything. Yeah, actually, we could call this completed like this, but I'm not satisfied. First, I'm going to add motion, go to X, so that wherever I play the Scratch Cat, it's going to go to the same position each time. Now, what I can do is I can set the clone's position. Yes, I can set the clone's position separate from the other thing's position. So, I'm going to show this. I'm going to check the positions. The floor position, X217. So, I'll set this to go to X217 minus 217. Oh, that's already preset. And then finally, now we want to alternate to make the Y value to be random. So I'll pick random from 15 to floor level minus 108. So now it's time to play. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 no. Now what you're going to do is that we have to check collision. I want it so that if it touches the Scratch Cat, then stop the program. So if the Scratch Cat touches it, the entire thing is going to stop running. So let's play it quick demo. Jump, jump. Well, why do I have to make it such a? I think I've made a jumping rage game instead. Come on, come on. No. So now we want to add squash and stretch to our Scratch Cat. After all, why would we add this implementation if we want to add squash and stretch? Duh. So what I'm going to do is that when the Scratch Cat finishes jumping, I'm going to add 2 other repeat blocks. Now the squash and stretch is going to be very short, very brief, to not interfere with anything. I'm going to squash it. I am going to squash it. That is, change fisheye effect. And then change fisheye effect. 25 is a bit too much. Maybe 2 is going to do the trick. Now we've added a very subtle squash. Now I can increase this value to make the squash more clear. Ooh. No, come on. Now I can also make the squash upwards. This time I'll change fisheye effect by a negative value to make the squash upwards, as you should expect. This is going to be changed to squash fisheye effect by 3. Change fisheye effect by negative by 1, 2. Change fisheye effect by negative 2, and finally change fisheye effect. No. This is actually meant to be negative 2, by the way. These are actually meant to be negative since we wanted to squash upward, and now we want to squash downwards. Hey, it didn't work. What gives? The color effect again. What's up with this? Now see, it squashes upwards. Now the problem is that, well, it squashes upwards, but when it falls down, it should be squashing downwards. It should be squashing. Now you see that the squash is centered at up. It's centered upwards, but when we want to fall down, we want the squash to be centered downwards. Now you could add your own complex implementation of squash and stretch which fixes this problem, but I digress. So we finished the functionality of the game. The two final things we need to add are scores and a background. Since I'm too lazy to make a score variable, fine, I make a score variable just for the sake. For all sprites, I will score. And at the beginning, I'll set the score to 0. And each time this touches the edge, I will increase score by 1. Now, as you can see, well, as you can see, it works, but the text is not looking very fancy, you know. It's very basic. I mean, just look at this. If you want the text to be more stylish, then you could watch GriffPad's video on how to do that, since it's too complex for this video, since, you know, Scratch was made for kids. It wasn't made for such things like that. So finally, the most essential thing to add, or probably least essential depending on who you are, is the background. So for the background, I'm going to use a green color for the grass. Make it more bumpy. Now I'm going to add a blue sky. Go back. Now this is the minimum we need for a background. This is the good excuse of a background. Now I made it to be very simple since I don't want to spend all of my time designing the background. I don't want to spend all my time designing the background, obviously. So I just made it very simple. You could add more elements if you want, like trees, houses, more trees. But no one cares. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel, ObaCode. Bye.